All right. So wonderful to be with everyone tonight. If you can hear me, go ahead and say hello into the phone. Give me a little hello. A little hello there. Okay, good. Awesome. Very cool. Okay, I'm so excited to be with you guys. This is Content Creation School Part 2. I am so psyched to be sharing this with you. So we're getting started here tonight. All right, I got everything all set. Welcome to Content Creation School Part 2. We have some exciting things coming up tonight, so I'm really pumped to share with you what we're doing. Today, Content School Part 2 is all about, obviously, how to crank out quality content fast and attract high-paying clients. Plus, it's my, my simple secrets to pave your way to passive income using passive income products. So I'm really excited about that. Tonight specifically though for Content School is all about rocking your online posts, your blogs, and your newsletters with these 7 secret ingredients that'll keep your content creative and attract ideal clients and convert leads like crazy. There are like some really important things that you want to be creating in your content. So that's a really super important part of what's going on in tonight's call. Let's dive right in. Just so you know a little bit more about my journey and why I'm doing Content Creation School with you guys right now. I spent so much time, and I'm sure some of you can identify with this, but I spent so much time in Facebook groups getting crickets and having like absolutely no one comment on my posts ever, or even like my posts. And this went on for weeks, maybe even a couple of months. So, you know, this was like a regular thing where I was like, am I ever going to get anywhere? I had to get really fantastic, not just at finding my voice, but getting clarity around the kind of coach that I was at the time. You know, I didn't want to be stuck in the pool of the sea of coaches and feel like I was just drowning. I also had to get really good at figuring out what my people wanted in terms of content and how to create that. But not just how to create the content, how to make sure that the content also converted, all right? So over time, I finally realized what ingredients seemed to be most attractive in a post. And the more that I saw success, the more that I've created formulas, I've created checklists around pretty much everything I teach, especially around content, and how to make content that turns lukewarm followers into fans. That's just a huge piece of this. I remember the first piece of content that I created was my step-by-step structure for sales calls that sell. And I didn't actually think it was going to be a very big hit because I wasn't conscious of the secret ingredients I'm going to be sharing with you tonight that were actually in that piece of free content. But it ends up that that piece of free content is actually still on my website right now as my main lead magnet because it had a lot of these elements in that we're going to talk to you about tonight to include when you're creating free stuff or posting in Facebook groups and really wanting people to reach out and, you know, say, hey, I want to work with you. This is exactly what I want. You're speaking to me. The second opt-in that I created was the top 10 ways to book 20 or more discovery calls. And I did that through an online post. Within 48 hours, I got 800 comments. And, you know, my Facebook ad account was actually disabled at the time, but I was still able to use that lead magnet and that online post to go ahead and get a lot of people onto my list and therefore actually sell out a 6-week small group program. So there's so much to be said for rocking your online posts and really learning what do you put in them that has clients looking your way who are ideal for you and saying, yes, I absolutely need that, and you know, I want to work with you. I think the problems that I see a lot of the time in terms of creating content, I know this is the stuff that I went through, is the hiding that happens online. Anybody ever felt like they're hiding online when they want to go and post? In fact, I have a lovely woman coming on the line tonight. I have 2 lovely women coming on the line tonight, but one of them is my amazing client, Alex. And I remember when we first started having her write her posts, and I was like, Alex, you are one of the most compelling people I've ever met. put it into your writing. And wow, was it a change when she did that. So, instead of talking about what we think people want to hear and saying it in a way that we think is really going to turn their heads, sometimes we lose ourselves and we lose our stories in the process and we just sound generic. So I think another thing I see too is not knowing what our people really want. Are you really getting in touch and keeping a pulse on what your people want to hear about most often? Or are you just kind of like making up an idea in your own head and then going and posting it without really knowing what your people want? We talked about that in week 1 of content school, actually. The other thing about posting that people really forget sometimes is just not even having a call to action. These days, so many people have something to say, and we want to make sure that you're actually telling them clearly where to go and what to do to go ahead and get yourself, moving forward with a client. I think another big thing is not using our own experience. Last week in content school, we talked about really bringing yourself into your posts and how to do that. We're going to go deeper tonight. And then, the other thing is when we write content online, maybe we're not clear all the reasons that our customers want to buy. And so we're not really communicating with them from that place that's moving them into, yes, I want to work with you. So this is some of the stuff I see going on that I definitely went through too. Maybe you can identify it with it. But for all of you who really haven't followed me before, who are just here for the first time, I am Mel Farr. I'm a business and wealth creation coach for new or seasoned coaches who are really ready to hit that 10K a month mark. I've helped countless women create 5K months, and much of it from creating absolutely fantastic content, along with booking a crazy amount of discovery calls, mastering their sales process, mastering their message, and then creating irresistible coaching packages, plus just so much more. When I began my business in September of 2014, I was actually, oh wow, Allie Horner, a client who was just in UDU, just came on Facebook Live and said she just had a $33,000 month. So yes, Allie has definitely learned to to book lots of discovery calls and nail the sales process. Awesome, awesome. So excited to hear that. Allie just took off in my UDU program. So that was a really, really cool thing to see. She was one of many, because when I first started, I was $29,000 in debt. And then even after I invested in myself, I went to be $42,000 in debt. And that was just in April of last year. And now excited to be planning my first 7-figure year. So very excited about that. And Allie and Famira are both saying UDU is the best on Facebook Live. So that's awesome. Cool. Well, let's dive into the content for tonight. Tonight I'm going to share with you a really cool and really simple, because I like to keep things simple, checklist and formula for composing powerfully packed online posts. It could be a newsletter or it could be a blog, but I've got this simple little formula that'll have your ideal clients hunting you down a lot of the time and definitely reaching out to say, I want to know more. I'm also going to teach you my 7 secrets for creating relationship building content that really works when it comes to creating online fans who are ready to invest in your services because they're totally bonding with you through all these elements that you're putting in your content, okay? So I want to let you know there is going to be Q&A at the end. There is a absolutely ridiculous bonus on this call that I'm going to be telling you about. Trust me, you do not want to miss it. It's totally insane. And then I'm also having 2 women who are speaking to you live tonight that I'm really excited for you to meet. So definitely hang out with us till the end. I'm going to give you everything I can in this hour. And then, I know that there will be more questions and room for greater education. So I promise I'm going to let you know where you can get more of this good stuff. I'll let you know about my program that's going on right now. Okay. So let's move forward onto this really cool formula that I want to share with you. So this is it's really a checklist. It's a short formula for composing powerfully packed online posts or newsletters or blogs that'll have your ideal clients hunting you down. I'm so pumped about this. It's really easy. And again, whether it's an online post, a blog, or a newsletter, it doesn't really matter. So I used this exact formula back in the day. Again, I told you about this at the beginning when my Facebook ad account Oh no, it wasn't that. It was another time that I did this. Now I'm remembering. Right before my 7-day mindset challenge. Anybody who's been following me for a while has probably seen my 7-day mindset challenge. And right before I did this 7-day mindset challenge, I wrote this post online that had these ingredients in it. And this post got hundreds upon hundreds of comments on it. And I think now over, 1,500 people have signed up for that mindset practice, maybe closer to 2,000 now, but we've never ever run paid lead generation. We've never run paid ads to this challenge. We just got literally 1,500, even more people to go ahead and sign up for it from this post that was actually like a yes ladder. It was inviting people to keep commenting, and then I sent them the link. But here are the 3 different parts that are in it, and I'd really like you to explore this, all right? The first one is story. And I know that we may have heard this before, but I want you to really think about this. I want you to think about how throughout all time, story has been such a huge part of how we connect with other human beings. I'm gonna share with you a really specific example. But think of all the movies and the songs that you hear every single day. A lot of them are about love or all kinds of other things, but it's just nonstop story that we're relating to in other human beings. And besides that, especially if you think of the coaching world, this is the biggest complaint I hear that I am so over, by the way. It's BS. But people are like, oh, everybody's talking about the same stuff. Everybody's writing about the same thing. I talked to a friend the other day, and she said that she used to feel like that until she slipped out of the coaching industry and talked to one other online entrepreneur, and they said, oh, coaching, how unique. It may feel like a bubble at times, but trust me, there are tons of people who need a coach, and it's the second biggest growing industry. It's $1 trillion industry. There are people joining it every day, which means there's plenty of people for everyone to coach. And when you add story, when you're doing your marketing online, this is the way that you truly, truly stand out from everybody else. Because if you're going to talk about something that may even be similar, but you start using stories from your life, then all of a sudden things get really interesting, because that's the thing that's going to make your post authentic or different and say, oh, that's her, the girl who XYZ, or the girl who told the story about ABC, right? Whatever it is. There's so many times I've gotten on sales calls before, and I say, well, what brought you here? And somebody would say, it was your story. And I'll tell you what, a lot of times women talk to me and they're like, when you told me how much debt you were in before you started your business, I knew I had to talk with you, just different aspects. Because what story does is it makes us relatable. And it makes people see, and the coolest thing to have in story, by the way, is a before and after as well, so that you can really share where you were and how far you've come. And if you can share specifics about where you were, then people can really, really relate to that. When I say I was afraid to invest in a group program, I was in a lot of debt, I was afraid it wouldn't work out, then people get to see, oh my gosh, I thought I was the only person who felt like that. I thought I was the only person who was totally afraid to take that risk. If she was afraid and she got through it and her business has taken off, why can't mine, right? And that's what we're trying to do with the element of story. I'll show you a really boring way to go about story and a really exciting way. So let's say that you're doing an online post and you say something like, oh, I just love my job. I love making money doing something that I love. Okay, so that's a general way where story isn't that powerful. Making money doing something I love is so great. I have so much freedom in my life. Great. Yeah, you're right. Now you do sound just like everybody else. But let's say that you put a little bit of detail in, a little bit of story in your own, and really make it yours. What if you were to say, and this is a true story, I had a client today who made $20,000 this month, first time ever. And the other first time she ever had was realizing she could pay for her son's tuition for his school before the semester even started. I love what I do. It's so fulfilling to know that other women are benefiting as well. And it's so fulfilling to know that she's winning, and I'm actually using some of those resources to go visit my brand new niece, who I wouldn't have been able to a year ago without this business taking off the way it has for me. Like sharing the story of what I can do and what she can do. And I might add, I can go spend Christmas in Hawaii with my brand new adopted niece who is just, 8 weeks old at this point. Like that's anyone who has like a niece, anyone who just had a newborn child, anyone who loves Hawaii, anybody who wants to be able to pay for their kids' school, anybody who's never had their first 20K month, anybody who just, any of these details in here are different opportunities to pull people in. And now the post is totally different. We went from generic to putting all those different details in and really showing people what's different about you, what your interests are, the things you care about. And the fact is, people don't buy because of what you do, they buy because of why you do it a lot of the time, right? That's what Simon Sinek says. A lot of you have probably seen that video. When you tell your story and you get in depth like that, you're letting people know your why. So show a great before and after picture and put details in that make things really, really, special toward you and who you are, okay? Here's the other thing, and this is a really cool, so that's part 1 of the formula, adding in story. Here's part 2 of the formula, and the formula is just make sure these 3 things are in, and I'm gonna show you an example of a post. I'm gonna tell you about one that I think is awesome. So here's the second thing. Add in stats and numbers, okay? This is what I love. You might think, oh, well, I haven't helped a client have a 10K month. I'm not a business coach. I don't know if I can still make money. I don't want to hear it. That is so not true. I have love coaches, health coaches, life coaches, language coaches, and business coaches in my program who have 5-figure months, all kinds of stuff, right? All kinds of coaches. So don't even go there with me. Don't even test me. You're wrong. And I love you. Okay, so stats and numbers. Here's what's exciting about this. It doesn't have to be about money. It could be like a date. It could be an age. It could be how long you've been doing something, right? It could be any of those things. And this is the thing about stats, statistics, and numbers. Like in the beginning of my coaching business, I was still a business coach, and I actually didn't have a lot of people or a lot of clients that I could say, oh, they've made this much money. I was just getting started and I had to start somewhere. But guess what I did have? I had an ability to be really good at sales, and I knew statistics about sales based on the women I'd been talking to. I knew that 9 out of 10 women that I got on the phone with were setting themselves up for a bait and switch on their sales call while they were desperately afraid of being salesy. So imagine that. 9 out of 10 women are setting themselves up to make their sales call feel bait and switchy. And 10 out of 10 of them are worried about being salesy. Right? Like this is a really important statistic. So are you one of those women? Like almost every woman I talk to is scared of being salesy, and 9 out of 10 of them are beginning their calls to set themselves up for a bait and switch and they don't even know it. Here's the exact thing that I can help you do to open your sales call in a better way so that instantly your chances of hearing yes go way up. Now that's an interesting stat, right? You could do all kinds of stats like that. So if you don't have cool testimonials, if you don't have numbers that you think are impressive, go and look at stats in your industry and, make a cause for why your services are powerful based on that. The thing is, when humans see statistics or they see numbers, especially when it's a specific number, like if you are going to talk about how much money you're earning, I wouldn't have it be like $4,500. I would go to the exact thing and say, oh, it's 4,476. Because those numbers just feel even more genuine and real. They feel down to earth. They feel unique. They don't feel like just a flat number, right? So be specific with the numbers that you have. Use statistics that are interesting based on your industry if you don't have something else. Use dates, how old you were when something happened and how many years later it completely changed. What happens with humans is when they see stats and they see numbers, they instantly feel like the source is more credible. Right? Because get this, people who are practical or who know their stuff or are using stats, they're usually people we think in our minds, we assume that they're well-read, that they're knowledgeable, and that they really know what they're talking about, right? So stats and numbers can really do that for you. And in fact, this is the exact post that I wrote. So it was really short, but I'll share with you. I want you to listen for a tiny element of story that's interesting and says a lot about me. And I want you to listen for the numbers that I shared. And there does happen to be a money number in here, but there's other interesting numbers too. This was the post, and it got hundreds and hundreds of comments in 48 hours. It says, Anyone who knows me knows that I'm relentless about my daily mindset practice. I created it on February 28th of 2015, and I've only skipped it 6 times in the past 7 months. If I was to show you step by step exactly what my daily mindset practice entails that I credit with my $41,000 month this past June, would you want in? Comment Mindset Mastery below. So here's the story element. Anyone who knows me knows that I'm relentless about my daily mindset practice. I created it on February 28th of 2015, and I've only skipped it 6 times in the past 7 months. What does that tell you about me? It tells you that I have routine, I am persistent, I like totally get up every day and go for it. I'm not effing around here, right? It gives this sense of like, ooh, that girl's serious about this, right? It kind of starts putting me in position of expert. Then there's the dates of when I made the date and how many times I've skipped it. It's like, ooh, she's in it to win it, right? So it's starting to give me credibility as an expert, that kind of thing, right? And then of course it goes into what I was able to create with it. So that's the stats and the numbers piece, okay? So we've got story, we've got stats and numbers, give it credibility, make it interesting. And guess what? Numbers can get boring if it's just money, so talk about something even more interesting. And then here's the other thing, a picture. Pictures are fantastic. This is what I'll say. Obviously video is huge because I'm live streaming as we speak, but here's the thing. Video is such a big piece, so think about it. If you're putting out text online and there's 3 billion people online and they have about 3 seconds to decide if you're interesting or not, at the very least, you better have a damn good picture. And now picture and text is still really a great thing to do, but make sure that you have a fantastic picture to go along. Now, my bonus tip for that is to put text on the picture that will let people know in 3 seconds or less exactly what they will get from reading your post. Now I want you to really listen to this. I want you to write that down. When you use a picture, I want you to put text on that picture that will let them know within 3 seconds or less exactly what they are going to get from reading that online post. Because remember, if the picture is great, if they know what they're going to get without having to read it yet, then they'll go further and read it. Now, to have a picture that's very eye candy is great, but if your text on the picture is fantastic, then you could even have like a colorful blank picture made from Canva or PicMonkey and just put the text on. For this particular post, it said Mindset Mastery for a 41K month. Very specific. Right away, you know. It could be a picture of a person, or it could just be a colorful square with the text over the top. If you got new pictures and you love them, then totally go with that as well. And in fact, you guys, I'm really excited to share this with you because I just had a photo shoot last weekend. And I'm going to show you a picture that I'm going to start using, you know, that I really, really love. I'm showing this on live stream. But you guys can see this is like it's a new picture. It's going to go online soon. For anybody who's listening, I'll totally let you, I'll post it in my Facebook group, The Feminine Affluent Entrepreneur. But if you feel really fantastic about a certain picture, then my gosh, go ahead and put that up there too to really get people's stuff. So get people excited. So that's my formula for an online post that totally rocks. And I'll tell you what, I got to the point where I was like, oh, I'm going to go write a viral post. It was almost as if most of the time on demand, I could go and do that, right? Totally crazy. So I would just be like, okay, well, I'm going to do a little element of story that's super interesting. I'm going to put stats and numbers together, and I'm going to have a really great picture that lets them know in 3 seconds or less what they're going to get. Really exciting. So, and I have to tell you, I wrote that post just 3 days before my challenge started and got thousands of people on it. And that post didn't take me hours to write, because the thing is, the more you practice this formula, the better you get at it and the faster that things go along. So it's very exciting. And in fact, what I would love to do, I want to bring on just one of the most amazing women I have ever worked with before. She's the perfect person to share with you how things have transformed for her and posting online and really getting her voice down more every single day. It's Alex Brady. And Alex, I'd love for you to come on, let people know who you are, your website, what you do, and then tell them a little bit more about, you know, your thing about messaging and how things have changed for you.
Yeah, hi Mel, it's great to be here. I'm Alex Brady. My website is alexbrady.com, ALEXBRADY.com. BRATTY.com. And I work with female entrepreneurs to help them nail their niche, master their message, and attract high-quality clients so they can stop the struggle and start thriving. Which I'm guessing pretty much all of us on this call have that goal. And, working with you has been terrific. I got to say, you mentioned it earlier that I mean, my messaging in terms of sharing my story, being able to put together compelling posts, being able to put together compelling free content that really brings in my tribe has gone, it's been like night and day. I mean, it was like crickets before. I was writing like I was, stuffy corporate person that I used to be, and I'm no longer that. I've broken out of my box. And you have helped me bring forward that voice, and the change has been incredible. Just some of the results to share that I've had since I've worked with you. I had some clients, but they weren't in my one-on-one program. They were kind of doing a few hours here and a few hours there. So I went from 0 in my high-end one-on-one program to now I have 8 clients in there. I've set up a Facebook group that's gone from 0 to almost 400 people in a very short period of time, and it is a super high-energy, high-active group. In fact, 5 of the last 5 clients I signed all essentially came from the group because I've been having so much interaction and creating such great free content that it's all started to come together essentially. So you have absolutely helped me get all these really foundational pieces in place, and now it's about building that strategy even further and further. So it's just been terrific.
Yeah, it's amazing. I'm glad you bring this up too, because so much of this is going back to like messaging and content creation. All we have are our words. I say that all the time, right? It's like all you have are your words, whether you're on video or you are on, posting online. That's really all you have, right? And so it's so interesting. We've all experienced this where you write something and you hear crickets and you're like, what is going on? But the fact is that's really valuable feedback. And the cool thing is the universe and your market will not let you cheat at hiding. And so getting really, really good at creating the content and practicing this formula among the other 7 secrets I'm going to share with you guys about content creation is just something that, Alex has worked with a lot, especially during the messaging module in UDU was a huge thing. And Alex is in Under Earner to Unforgettable as well too. So it's just been really amazing to watch her messaging start to totally explode and become her, because I don't know, Alex, I don't know that could ever see you as stuffy corporate. I feel like I've always known there's like a firecracker in there.
She's always been in there. She just kind of kept herself in her box while she was in stuffy corporate, but I don't need to do that anymore. So
awesome.
Everything that I produce now doesn't need to fit into that anymore. And so yes, it's definitely been a break out of the box experience.
I love it.
Fun, right?
So much fun. So much fun. Alex, tell them just your website one more time, and thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Sure thing. My website is alexbraddy.com.
Awesome. All right, my love, we'll continue on, but thank you so much for being here. Awesome.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's go on. Let's start diving into these 7 secrets to add into your content. This is what I'm super psyched about. So this is what I will tell you. These are the 7 secrets for creating relationship building content. Really, it really works with, changing followers to fans and letting them get to know you. And I really think it's like just to have these pieces in, they don't all have to be in everything, but a lot of the time it's just so powerful to have, a lot of these pieces here and there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you which ones I recommend almost every time when you're creating content. And again, it really can be different, but this is just such a powerful way to go. So the first ingredient, and this is something that you can have, you don't always need to, it really depends on how specific your language is, but something in your content has to let people know that you're talking specifically to them. You know, like last week we talked about titles a little bit and taglines. You know, my private one-on-one coaching program is called Ascend. Clients, cash, and clout for the coach who's looking to move up in the world and have her first $10,000 month. You know, so that tagline makes it very clear who I'm talking to, right? So you really want to make sure that somewhere in your text, either you're using language that only your ideal client would use, or you are, actually stating out loud who they are. So you might say, for women, for corporate women who are so ready to leave their 9-to-5 and start their own health coaching business. Right there, everybody in your niche now knows, oh, cool, she's talking to me, right? So you want to make sure that that's really clear. An example of this even is, a lot of you have heard about my Master Your Money Conversation assessment. So it was called Master Your Money Conversation 20-minute assessment, you know, for coaches who are ready to have fantastic sales conversations that end in yes when it comes to selling high-end coaching packages. And that was, I mean, right there, it's like so clear. And I didn't always have to say it was for coaches who wanted a certain result, but the language I was using, like a lot of coaches use the language discovery calls, right? And so it became very clear, oh, she's definitely talking to me, she's targeting me. So there's got to be something in there. I want you to read your copy or your post or your newsletter or your blog from your client's perspective and say, is it clear that I'm talking to them? Versus, could I be talking to just anyone, which means that you're casting your net far too wide? Or, are they confused about who I'm talking to? You know, those are big, big things to really keep in mind for sure. So that's the first thing, really knowing who you're talking to, all right? And here's the second thing that I really want to dive into. We talked about story and how it's a big element, but I want to say a few more things about it because story is one of the 7 secrets. One of the things we just talked about is showing a really cool before and after picture in your story and having specific details in there that really make your post unique to you. But here's some other elements of story that you want to make sure you're incorporating. Number 1. When you're using story, position yourself as an expert. It's great to get vulnerable. It's great to tell a story about, something that defines you uniquely, but you don't want to be airing your dirty laundry, you know? So let's say you're a coach who's just starting. For you to talk about how nervous you are, how you're not sure if you can really help your clients, this is the time to dig into the faith you have in yourself instead and say, I've been doing this for a long time, one way or another. You know, I've really been able to go from this to this, and I'm excited to reach out and help other people do it too. That's the side you want to showcase, the side that makes you positioned as an expert. And really, we all have times in life that are struggling, but when we're marketing our business, we really, really want to position ourselves as an expert. So that's a huge element of story. Number 2, make yourself relatable and positively vulnerable, okay? Again, not airing dirty laundry, but this is the time for you to really make yourself relatable by telling them, I get where you're at. Do you ever feel like you're just not sure this online coaching business is ever going to work? Ever feel like you're doing all the things you've been told to do, but you just see everybody else getting clients instead of you? I get it. I was there too. It took me 4.5 months before I signed my first high-end coaching client, and now really 18 months later, I'm on my way to a 7-figure business. Do you see what I just did there? It's like, I talked about how it took me so long to get clients. I get how you feel. I put almond butter back on the shelf in the grocery store because I kept my calculator out and I would subtract with tax how much all the food was that I was getting so that I would know when I hit 0 and I'd put back any of the groceries I couldn't afford that week. Right? It's like I'm sharing a story with you that you might relate to. You might feel like I was there too. And if she went from there to this place, then I can too. And that's kind of the before and after. But again, I'm making myself relatable and positively vulnerable in a way that lets you know I get you. I've been there, right? Here's the third thing. Make yourself likable and interesting. We all have different sides to us, but to share that side that is really authentic and genuine and likable, that's probably a great thing to do. I don't always show up online when I'm in a terrible mood. I like to do it when I'm in a great mood to show you that this is who I am as a coach. Whatever it is about you that makes you likable, definitely show up in that way, okay? Also, show your confidence. That's number 4. Show your confidence, okay? So you've got to believe in yourself. This is the thing about being an online entrepreneur or a coach who's offering services or products. You want to make sure that the way that you are presenting yourself is that you have confidence that you can help somebody. I want you to think about if you went and read a story about someone that made you feel like they weren't quite sure they were good at their job. You know, it's like a lot of entrepreneurs, we got to have courage and strength to go forward and do our thing. But the people who want to work with us, they want to know that we can handle it. They want to know that our fear doesn't faze them. So show confidence in your story. Make sure when you read it from their point of view that it sounds like they've got lots of confidence. My other number 5 for story is has real dealness. That's what I said. Like, keep it real, you know, like, I think sometimes we forget that copywriting is so different than writing a report or, you know, being a novelist. Copywriting is like, keep it real, be transparent. When you're marketing yourself and you're sharing story, just be down to earth. I can't tell you how much people love it when you just seem straight up real, like you're having a normal conversation with them, just like we are right now. Be real. And number 6, we talked about, give it some unique detail, okay? What are those unique details that totally make you different? Maybe it was, you know, Christmas in Hawaii with my 2-month-old niece. Maybe it was that my client, you know, got to pay for her son's college way earlier than she thought. Those are all some really, really cool things that make things different than just anybody else who's talking about how they love making money doing what they love to do, right? So have unique details. So story, position yourself as an expert, make yourself relatable and positively vulnerable, make yourself likable and interesting, show your confidence, be real, and share unique details. Details, 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 and of course we love numbers, so don't forget that. Now, number 3, secret ingredient. Now story, actually number 2, I would say for story, I would incorporate story every time. And a lot of people think that incorporating story means like having a whole paragraph or a whole page of story. It doesn't. The post that I just read to you last time was a one-liner. Anybody who knows me knows that I'm relentless about my mindset practice. Okay, 2 lines. I created it January 28, 2015, and I've only missed it 6 times in 7 months. Those are just 2 lines of story, but it's a little bit of story. So insert it here and there where it makes sense. There were just 6 things about story. Okay, so number 3, here's one that I think is almost an every timer. It doesn't necessarily need to be, but this is something to use often, and it is pain. And I want to talk about this in a specific way because listen, pain is not something that you're trying to rub in anybody's face, but I want to tell you a little something. Pain is one of the main reasons that people buy. I talked about this last week. Pain is one of the main reasons. You know why? I gave this example of my lovely mother who I just absolutely adore. When she has an acre of pain, it's got to get bad before she's actually going to go to the doctor. She is like, oh, my knee hurts, but that's not enough. She's got to be like, I can hardly walk, my knee hurts, before she actually wants to go and do something about it. And so we have to become conscious of our pain and how painful it is a lot of the times before we're going to get ourselves out of a terrible situation. So it's not our job to go and push the pain and make someone feel bad, but it is our job to make sure that we make somebody conscious of their situation and then help to ask them and get clarity around, do you want to stay in this spot or do you want to move out of this spot into the better place that you told me you were really excited about? So if you tap on that pain, if you talk about that, it will resonate with them and they'll start to become conscious of their current situation, which will then force them to start to make a decision, whether it's ignore it or take action to move themselves from where they are out of that place. And that's when you're truly doing a service, truly doing a service. So it might be me saying like, hey, you ever feel like getting clients online is a total uphill battle? Are you so tired of getting stuck in the sea of coaches? Do you feel like you know that you're meant to do this, you know you're a good coach, and yet nobody seems to know about that and nobody seems to care? Like 0 comments is the story of your life, right? So that's like an example of that, right? Or do you feel like your 9-to-5 job is just killing your soul? You feel like yesterday wouldn't be soon enough to leave it. right? I get it. I was in that job too, and then I came out of it and moved into having geographical freedom. You know, Christmas was Hawaii, February was Belize on my honeymoon, March was Mexico, and next month Italy. That happens to be true. But there was no way I was going to do this last year until I really started to move out of the pain of not making the money I wanted and not having the freedom that I wanted. And I had to get really conscious of that and have somebody really stare me in the face and say, what do you want? This is your life right now, before I was gonna move. So think about what the pain is for your clients, all right? So what I wanna do, we're gonna do 4 more secrets, and I'm gonna share that with you in just a minute. I want to bring on this friggin' badass coach who's working with me in Under Earner to Unforgettable right now. Her name is Angie. And oh my gosh, this woman has a lot of these things down, I'll tell you what, because she just recently has started launching a group program, and that's going fantastic. But Angie, why don't you tell them about you, your website, what you do, and all of the incredible things that are going on over there.
Yeah. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we can.
Awesome. So I'm a business strategist, a business coach for online health coaches. So I help health coaches create their first 5-figure months and to create really good, clear content in their messaging. And my website is angieleecoaching.com. And now, what do you want me to dive into? What do you want me to dive into first?
I mean, I'd love to hear just what's going on with you lately. I know that since you joined Under Earner to Unforgettable, a whole lot of things have happened. And, we're also really talking about, content and those things, right? So anything that you feel like you've put out that's really attracted clients with story or any of those things too. Whatever you've really been going on for you and you that you want to share.
Yeah, I was going to say there's so much to say, so I'm like, where do you want it? All good things, though. So it's been a crazy last few months launching my first group program, and I honestly don't think I would have had the skills or the confidence to do that unless I did you to you. So it's already been really, really powerful for me. A lot of it was messaging. I wasn't clear on my target market. I did have to go back to the basics of my business, and I think the last 3 months has been so powerful for me because I needed to get back to, as a new business coach, okay, who am I targeting? What is my message? What is my content going to be like now? And it's just been really helpful to even have you guide us through that and figure out, okay, you can't skip the basics of the business. You can't skip the fundamentals of who you are, who do you serve, what do you do? Exactly. And I think I was just going to skip a lot of that, and almost get to the the fun stuff. But it's been really good for me to break it down and make sure I remember all the fundamentals.
Love it. And are you comfortable sharing what's happened? I mean, I know so much happened just in the first week. If you want to tell us about that, of you to you, but then if you want to tell us some stats on your launch.
Sure, yeah. So I'm launching my first 10-week live group program. I actually just had my first 30K month, so I'm really excited about that. I never dreamed that was ever even friggin' possible. But, so after I started UTU, and we got through some of the first few modules, and you gave me the lady balls to, do this, I had my first 6K week. What was that? Yeah, it was almost 6K. Oh, no, it was in 2 days. Remember, it was in 2 days. So it's been definitely a crazy journey, but I'm really glad that I've had that guidance and that support. And you're very good at, taking a question and really giving us the confidence to not question it too much. And I think that's what I needed is a tough love coach myself to say, listen, this is, it's not rocket science, but you do need to put in the work. So
yes.
Yeah, it's been a crazy last 3 months.
Totally.
It's been good crazy though.
Yeah. Well, and this is the other thing that I just want to check in on this on some pretty crazy, amazing stats. So first of all, you did 6K in 2 days, but am I right in saying that was like a $13,000 month your first month?
Yeah, I was almost 14.
Almost 14 the first month, and then is this 30K launch totally separate of that cash that you brought in then?
Yeah, that was separate because that was for one-on-one coaching, and then I decided to launch this program shortly after, and so I still have some of my one-on-one clients, but I decided to launch this June program that I'm launching at the end of June, and that I'm capping out at about 40 girls, but I'm like halfway at my goal right now, so.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Okay. So so your total sales right now is over 43,000 the last 3 months.
Yeah, and last year as a health coach, I mean, I've never made that much in 3 months. I mean, I had moments, obviously, where I really had high and low months, but no, I've never made that much in 3 months ever in my life.
Wow. I mean, and this is the
so
thing.
It's been a lot of just like really taking it seriously now, and I think that's what was really great about your program too, is that, you know, I think a lot of us, we get trapped in like, okay, it's a hobby, or I'll have a plan B, and maybe it'll work, but I think something about you and your mindset, I was like, all right, you know what, this isn't a game anymore.
Yeah.
So your mindset stuff is awesome too. So I love going back to all of your morning mindset work, because for me, I mean, that's something I totally blew off in the past. I never had a mindset practice. So for me, even to mentally get in the game is so different.
Oh my God, I love it. That is so, I mean, the crazy thing right now is like, Angie hasn't actually told me this yet. So I knew that you had done like a 30,000.
I was like, should I tell her this on this call?
I had no idea that you had a $30,000 month. You're halfway there. So that, and do you have more discovery calls still to go through?
Yeah, I definitely have some, and that was something you helped me through too, because I know I mentioned that I was a little overwhelmed by the process, but I keep, you know, there's one thing you said is there's simplicity, or there's wealth in simplicity, and whenever I wake up anxious, I just think of you saying that, and I'm like, you know what, there is. I don't need to overcomplicate this process.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm actually right now trying to almost pull back and clean it up and be more efficient with my discovery calls, and just treat it like a business, and just be more efficient with it, so I can not go crazy to me, you know, and not feel like I'm burning myself out. So.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, absolutely amazing. Well, love, tell them just where they can find you one more time, but I am so proud of you. I'm so glad to have you.
I know, I'm so excited. You guys can find me at angieleecoaching.com, or I'm pretty much on Facebook Live twice a day on my public page and my private business page with Angie Lee as well.
Awesome. Very cool. Very cool. Thank you so much, my dear.
Oh, thank you for having me on.
Of course.
Thank you.
Of course. Total rock star, right? Absolute total rock star. I'm so excited about Angie and all of her progress as well. She is, I mean, blowing it out of the water. So I'm super excited to share with you the other 4 ingredients to help make your content convert. In fact, I'm also going to mention a bonus that is totally ridiculous if you hang out with me. So I'm going to tell you about this bonus in just a second. That's only available if you're on the call live tonight, and it might be one of the best bonuses I've ever given. But first, what I want to tell you a little bit about is my group coaching program, Under Earner to Unforgettable. It is the group that Angie Lee, who just told us she created over $43,000 the first 3 months of UDU. She's in that. Alex Grady, who was just on, who's brought on multiple clients, grown her Facebook group, and created way over 5 figures as well since we've been working together. So both of these ladies are in the UDU program, and I want to tell you a few more details about it. And I want you to actually think about this. Learning how to masterfully integrate these 7 ingredients to make your content fantastic at converting is truly an art, you know, and these ladies are putting the time and the effort in to get this stuff down really, really well, you know, to really become masterful at these tasks and these tools that they're learning in Under Earner to Unforgettable. And it can be really simple, but there's definitely lots of testing and tweaking. How cool. People are saying, welcome UDU. The thing that my ladies have so loved about UDU is the mentorship, the systems, the structures, the step-by-step processes, plus the incredible community support and individual Q&A support from me that's really taking them from not just creating content, but really getting all the pieces together that you need to have together to create a coaching practice that can consistently generate 5-figure months. So what I want you to think about is when your followers walk through your door because you're using these ingredients, can you deliver fantastic content, right? Maybe learning how to define your own unique system is another piece of it. Creating fantastic content and also knowing how do you work with your clients in a unique way and how can you talk about it in a way that makes your clients want to say, yes, I've absolutely got to work with you. So really defining your signature way of doing things and having clarity around those pieces, you know, a lot of that is a big piece. It's not just creating the content. It's not just getting people to look your way. You've got to deliver when they walk through the door, and you've got to know how to talk clearly about what you do. And not just that, but what about automating this relationship building process, right? Here's another part of it. They come in through your free content. How do you make sure that they're being nurtured by you over and over and over again as you continue to do all your day in, day out stuff from your business? There's a lot of people out there waiting to be served by you. How are you going to make sure that you automate that process and make it easy for them to get to know you over time and then be ready to invest in you? And a lot of times it's tricky because it's hard to pump out content. It's hard to put packages together. It's hard to get good at the sales piece when we don't have clarity, right? So what kind of coach are you? How do you put together an irresistible package? Who are the exact ideal clients that you're targeting? These are systems and structures that help you create a solid foundation in your business, and you need all of them. And they build on each other. And you'll see as you go through the UDU process how they build on each other and how they start to make sense in a way that allows you to bring in your ideal clients over and over and over again. Not feast or famine, but in a consistent way. And once you've got those things in place, you want to make sure you're great at booking discovery calls. You want to make sure that you're great at nailing the sales piece and that every step is working for you. If any of these aren't up to par, if any of them aren't in line and in order, I guarantee you'll have a breakdown. And so many of us, myself included at the beginning of my coaching business, you know, it's like feast or famine. It's like we're going a long period of time. We can be perpetually in a place of having one of these pieces missing. Messaging, target market, packages and prices, you know, learning how to talk about what we do in a way that shows the value, booking discovery calls, making sales, creating content, automating our systems and structures. There are a lot of pieces to get in line. They don't have to be complicated, but they do have to be taught well in a step-by-step way so that you can really get the results that you came here for. Because there are women waiting for you right now. But if you get these pieces in place, you don't have to keep stepping over thousands of dollars and people who are really going to benefit great from the help that you provide. And that's what really UDU focuses on. If I had to simplify it, it focuses on 5 key steps. 1, cultivating the mindset of a high earner. You just heard Angie say. She wouldn't have done a $30,000 launch and created over $43,000 of income in the first 3 months of UDU if that mindset piece wasn't in place. Every month when she gets up, she talks about how she needs to think about business and keep things simple. And this is something she has so much support from in the UDU program. We definitely dive into getting clarity around all those foundational business structures that you build upon to make great money, like your messaging, you know, who you are as a coach, your why, who your target market is, how to create those fantastically irresistible packages and prices. That's the clarity that you need around those foundational business pieces to have a solid foundation so you can put all these other pieces in place. The next piece is mastering your sales process. How can you book tons of discovery calls and make sales? You know, we have people like Allie Horner was on here. She just finished UDU, had a $33,000 month she just wrote on the Facebook Live. She booked 18 discovery calls in 2 weeks and booked out her entire one-on-one practice solid right at the beginning of UDU 2. And now is going on to have a very high 5-figure month. I've had a client, Kalita, who booked over 50 discovery calls in 30 days. I teach 13 different ways to book discovery calls, and I really help you master that sales process so you don't have to be worried about feeling salesy, right? The next 2 steps are creating community and raving fans and a powerful online presence. A lot of my clients, Brittany West just finished UDU and she grew her Facebook group to almost 4,000 people, went from 3 to 13 clients and had 5-figure months while she traveled the world. Yes. So creating community and getting that raving presence is great. You heard Alex, she built her Facebook group to 400 people in just a few short months. Her last 5 clients all came from that Facebook group. So learning how to master that. And then lastly, we go into really leveraging your business, implementing automation and systems and structures. So we're going to be teaching you about tripwires and follow-up sequences that really automate how to build those relationships even in your sleep, so that you can not only be making consistent money, but you can be spending less time working and more time spending time with your family or anything else. So I would love for you to follow me to melissafarr.com/unforgettable, and I'm happy to walk you through this page. Again, it's Melissa Farr, MELISSAPHAR.com/unforgettable, UNFORGETTABLE. If you guys can type that in Periscope and in Facebook Live, melissafarr.com/unforgettable, that would be fantastic. You'll see so many women on this page who have had such incredible results. I have another client in UDU right now named Jody Bullock. Jody is a health coach. She's created over $30,000 since she started UDU too. So that's also very exciting. She's in the same course as Angie, who was just on talking to us as well. So there's many women. You can see all the videos of women who have gone through the program and had fantastic, fantastic results. In UDU, you're going to learn how to cultivate the success mindset you need to really step into the woman who is available to create wealth and impact on this level. You're going to learn how to find your voice and stand out uniquely and be super heartfelt and genuine when you impact others. You're going to learn how to nail your target market so you can speak powerfully to the people that you want to work with. Really, how you can use a super smart practice to get inside of your target market's head that we're going to be teaching in the program. You're going to learn how to package and price your services so that you fall in love with your offer and your potential clients do too, which means they're more likely to say yes consistently. You're going to learn how to book discovery calls like crazy, just like so many of my clients. You're going to learn how to master your sales calls, your money conversations, so that you can turn their hesitations into reasons they can't afford not to work with you. So that you don't feel pushy or salesy. So that when an objection comes up like, I can't afford it, I have to ask my spouse, I have to think about it, you know exactly how to handle that without feeling like a used car salesman, okay? You're going to learn how to create amazing lead magnets and content, plus follow-up sequences and tripwires that make your process automated. You're going to learn my killer online marketing strategy so you can take the overwhelm out of marketing online and really start turning heads of your ideal clients. You're going to learn copywriting that totally magnetizes your ideal peeps. So think about like just being a total wordsmith in terms of showing the value of what you do so people are really interested in it. And then website smarts. We're going to talk about how to make your website super smart. Also, even if you're a new coach, we'll talk about high-level coaching skills to really put up powerful client boundaries that help your clients get more results. So even if you're not certified or you're brand new, it's perfect for you. We're going to totally go over coaching skills, more social media, mastering your mental resilience, marketing funnels, list building. We have a Facebook ad expert and we have a branding expert, and we even pull it all together at the end. So those are all the things that you're going to learn. And I want to let you know, if you're at melissafarr.com/unforgettable, the thing I have to tell you really quickly before I tell you more about the program is this. Early Bird is ending in 2 days. Right now, the full price of Under Earner is $4,997. Or there's a payment plan you can check out. If you sign up before Friday, this Friday, then you get $1,000 off, right? You get $1,000 off at Early Bird. But here's the thing. For anyone who decides to sign up before this call ends, I'm still going to teach you a little bit more. So if you want to sign up right now for the course, you can go to melissafarr.com/unforgettable. Go ahead and sign up right now. If you do, here's the fast action bonus you get. You get a swipe file, which means a file full of my exact copy that I used to offer an assessment, a free coaching call to my list, and it helped me book over 24 free coaching calls, and then I converted them and had my first 20K month. So that was my copy and my post. It has a lot of the secret elements that we've talked about tonight in it. I used that post just twice in 1 month, and I was able to book over 25 free sessions and convert a handful of them into free clients and have my first $20,000 month. So that file has that exact copy in it. Here's the other thing. I have a Facebook ad running right now, or maybe it's down now, but I had a Facebook ad running just the last few months. In 3.5 weeks, it added over 4,288 people to my list, this exact Facebook ad. Now guess what? I wrote the copy for that Facebook ad, and it has those elements in it that I told you about. But if you want to see them in action, it has the copy and the exact screenshot of exactly what I wrote in that Facebook ad. Again, 4,288 people got added to our list in just 3.5 weeks. But here's the cool thing. I checked. We've now had over 7,500 people added to our list with this Facebook ad copy, and you'll get it as a bonus if you sign up before the night is over, or before this call is over. So the swipe file has the copy that booked me over 25 free sessions and helped me convert a handful of clients into my 20K month. It has the free Facebook ad copy that got over 7,500 people on our list in the last few months. And you're going to get, also a checklist. So all of the different secret ingredients we're talking about tonight, that checklist is also going to be included in the fast action bonus, so that every time you write anything online, you can go through the checklist and say, is that element in it? Is that element in it? Is that element in it? Do I have a swipe file? Yes, you do, Joanna, because you signed up before this call. So anyone who's already signed up for UDU, don't worry. All of these bonuses, you get total access to them. But if you're wanting to sign up right now, you're only going to get this fast action bonus if you sign up before this call ends. So again, you're going to get a swipe file of the copy that helped me book over 25 free sessions. I converted a bunch of them into clients. I got a 20K month. You're going to get the ad copy for the Facebook ad that got us over 7,500 people on our list in the last few months. And you're going to get the content swipe file, which is really, really super cool. And it's going to have just every secret ingredient you want to make sure you have in your copy to make it absolutely fantastic. So that's if you go ahead and sign up right now before the call is over to get all those. They're super, super cool. UDU is a 6-month coaching program. We have calls weekly. We have modules that accompany the calls. We have 2 hours of Q&A every single week. We have bonus calls. You get everything downloadable for life, so the modules and the Q&A. You get an amazing Facebook group of people, and plus I'm adding even more bonuses. So the Facebook group is one of the big bonuses to really be welcomed into an incredible community. I also have my client booking toolkit that you get instantly when you register for UDU. This helps you go through the 13 ways to help book discovery calls right from the beginning. I have another bonus. You get a group training call with my attorney, and she will walk you through every single thing you have to have in your business to make sure that you are legally protected as you grow. You also get access to my fantastic sales course, Master Your Money Conversations, and many clients booked many discovery calls. I had a client who made $40,000 during her time in my sales course, and she only paid $497 for it, so she made her investment back more than 100 times. You get that course for free when you join. You get it instantly, and you get access to it for life. And then also, here's the cool thing. I have a bunch of 7-day mini courses that are really powerful. They're all $49, so you can get all of them for $245. Yeah, and Famira right now is on Periscope and saying the first orientation call was amazing. Don't miss the next one. Really, I mean it. She says we do have orientation calls coming up. But you get all of my info products that are on my website for free. You get complete access to all of them for free instantly when you register, okay? So just reminding you, those bonuses are worth over $2,100. That's over $2,000 worth of packed bonuses. And plus you get the swipe file if you sign up before the call is over. Again, early bird ends in 2 days. So you get $1,000 off if you join now, but only until Friday at midnight. So make sure that you jump on that as well. We have a really cool orientation process to really Make sure that you are stepping into the program with space to take in new information and getting to know the women. The community is crazy high vibe, and you've heard from a lot of the amazing women already on tonight. So let's go to our last teaching point. Again, when the call's over, the swipe file's gone, so make sure you go to melissafarr.com/unforgettable if you want to sign up for it. But what I want to share with you is my last 4 secret ingredients when you're creating fantastic content. So the 4th one is really cool client results if you can. Now, even if you're a new coach, I don't want you to stress out about this. You know, just as we talked about how you can do industry stats, or you can do other numbers, or you can use your own story. You know, if you're a new coach, you don't have to share about the results a client have gotten. You could actually share about your own story, very before and after. You could share about industry stats. So you could actually go and get a few statistics about how women's lives have changed from coaching and then talk about that. That can be really powerful too. But you want to be able to educate your audience about the results that people have had from coaching. Another cool thing I really recommend when it comes to sharing client results in a post when you're trying to market yourself is to go get a few pro bono clients and then ask them to write you testimonials. You could even do a few pro bono sessions, offer a few free sessions, and if someone really loves it, say, hey, would you be willing to write a testimonial and talk about any results that you get that you think are related to this session? So client results are a really, really cool thing, and it's really just another element of story. But when you're telling someone else's story, it's really cool and it's really, really powerful. So use industry statistics, anyone can do some free coaching sessions and get some testimonials there. Use your own story if you don't have any clients yet, but if you have client results, it's a great, great thing to go ahead and add in. Okay, so here's number 5. This is a very cool secret ingredient. It's a huge, huge deal. This is more a conceptual thing for your content. When you're doing free content, again, this is the 5th element, do things step by step. You know, we're gonna have more coming up in Content School about doing things step by step, but if you're sharing content, break that content down into steps that are consecutive steps that make sense. You know, like you might do something where you're like, hey, you know, do you feel like you just wish you had clear skin? And that's really what your people care about. You might say, here's 3 steps you can take every morning to start having your skin clear up. This is really easy for people to digest when it's simple steps or step by step. A lot of times when you write copy, if you say that you're going to share a step-by-step process, it's really exciting for people as well. So the more that your content is short, sweet, and digestible, the better. Once you write something, read through it and look at it from your client's point of view. If it's confusing, if it feels long and drawn out, then go ahead and cut it. You might have a friend read it and say, I want you to circle the parts that are most exciting and compelling for you. Tell them to go ahead, circle all the parts that are most exciting and compelling for her. You'll start to see how much you thought was really important in the story, but nobody really cares. So make sure it's step by step, make sure it's succinct. If you can, try to write all the parts of your content, try to write each step into one sentence so that you can really figure out what's the point of me saying this and how is my person going to benefit from it. So keep it step by step, keep it short and concise. Number 6, I could never forget this. It's about talking about the pleasure or the benefit that your client's going to get. Now, one of the big things we talked about was pain. Pleasure or the benefit is the other reason that people buy. Because sometimes when they hear about something so wonderful, they also become conscious of their current situation and how they would like to change that current situation. All right? So this is a huge, huge part of it. You want to make sure that you can go ahead and move them from that uncomfortable place they're in to a better place. And when you talk about the pleasure or the benefit that they're going to get, that's a huge way that you can do this, okay? It's a huge, huge way that you can do this. You know, for me, maybe it's something like, or maybe you're a health coach and it's having clear skin, having more energy, losing weight, feeling more toned, having better digestion, getting rid of that bloat, fitting into those clothes. Those are all benefits. Those are all pleasure things that are going to help people see, ooh, this is what I'm going to get And that's what people are always asking. What am I going to get out of this if I read it? They may not be asking consciously, but that's how humans are. Remember, you got 3 seconds to make sure they're clear on how they're going to benefit from your stuff. And then number 7 is the last one. It's simple. You got to have a call to action. You know, if you're just posting to kind of put out some great information, fine. But usually you can sneak in something, not even sneak it in, you can put in something about, hey, join my Facebook group. Hey, follow me on Periscope. Follow me on Facebook Live. Or follow me on Twitter, on Instagram. Join my newsletter list. Here's my freebie. Oh, I'm doing a masterclass next week. You know, have people continue to follow you around and get to know you better and better and better. That's something you absolutely have to do. To build the relationship, keep inviting them and keep training them to say yes to you over and over and over again. That's why we share calls to action. We want to show people that when they say yes to hanging out with us, good things happen. And then when we ask them to hang out with us and it's even something that is paid, then they know the investment is worth it because they've been hanging out with us enough to see, wow, when I hang out with Mel, good stuff happens. I make a lot of money. I do something that I love. That's why I'm always sharing a call to action whenever I'm doing my free stuff. People don't have to take it, but there's an invitation to join me. And whether it's a big call to action or a small call to action, it doesn't matter. So I'm going to recap really, really quick. Number 1, this was the formula for an online post that goes crazy. Make sure that you have story, that you have stats, and that you have a killer picture. That's the 3 things that I include. Okay, then for those 7 things that are those secret things to make sure you add in, we talked about having statistics, the pleasure and the benefit, the pain, story. Actually, I'm going to go through this again. Call to action, pleasure, make sure it's step by step, share client results. I got to find the other thing. Make sure they know that you're talking to them, so something that identifies who they are, and the pain piece, all right? I'm going to go over one more time, those 7 things. Make sure they know that you're talking to them, so it identifies who they are. Make sure that you have elements of story in there that make you unique. Make sure that you tap on the pain, all right? Make sure that you share something about client results or even your own results or story. Make sure it's step by step and concise. Make sure that you include benefit or the pleasure point. And then lastly, put a call to action in all your stuff to help them hang out with you and invite them all over the place to continue to get to know you better so they are primed to invest. All right? So that's what's going on over here. Again, I want to invite you one last time to melissafar.com/unforgettable. I want to remind you that right now is early bird. It's $1,000 off the program, and the call is ending soon. So I'm going to answer a couple more questions. The program actually begins right when you register, because you've got the orientation packet, you get access to all the materials, and the program is going to begin the end of June for the official first training call. But you have an orientation call to listen to, you have another live orientation call coming up, we have a bonus call with my attorney. Those are all starting now. So you want to get your booty in as soon as you can. I'm going to answer a couple more questions about it, but I want you to think about this. I know in September of 2014, I was really, really scared to make an investment because I didn't feel like I had the money and I didn't want to go into even further debt. And I had this moment all of a sudden where I knew that what I needed was in the course. And I knew that the coach was the right coach for me. I just really knew those things. And I could get into a fear place and worry that maybe that wasn't true. But the truth is, I kind of knew in my heart that I could sit and hem and haw about it and stay where I was. Or I could take, I could really, really take a chance and move forward. And I decided to take that chance. And in that moment, I just knew I'm not turning around in 6 months and having my life still look like this. I'm turning around and I'm saying, thank you, Mel. I am so glad that you did this. And to think that it's 18 months or 19 months later, and I went from starting a business at 0 to now planning for my first 7-figure year is absolutely crazy to me. I wasn't traveling to tropical locations every month when this first happened. I wasn't living in a penthouse apartment in New York City. There were a lot of things that I wasn't doing. I wasn't planning on having the wedding of my dreams, which I did this past October, and I didn't know that I would be able to travel to see my niece literally 6 times in the last 8 months in Montana, because I could just pick up on the weekend and do that, and I wanted to. There are so many things that I would have missed out on if I hadn't taken that chance. And that may be true for you, that may not be true for you. Whether it's this or another program, I really invite you to step in, because it's only the things that we regret that we don't do. Those are where the regrets come in. So this is your chance. I would love to have you in the program. And actually, there's a few questions coming in right now. One of the things that somebody asked is, how many times am I launching the program? This is the last time that we know of that we're launching right now for quite a while. And when we do launch again, the price will probably be knocked up. So if you want to do Under Earner, you're never going to get it cheaper than it is right now, because it's already $1,000 off, but it probably won't stay at this price. Somebody asked, what is a discovery call? And I'm glad you asked that, because I want to bring up discovery calls. A discovery call is a conversation about discovering if it's the right fit to work together. And actually, if you're not sure if Under Earner to Unforgettable is the right fit for you, I have just a few spots left on Friday on Early Bird before the program ends. I've only got like 3 or 4 spots, so if you want to talk to me, go to melissafarr.com/discovery call, lowercase u, number 2, lowercase u. It's melissafarr.com/discovery call, lowercase u, number 2, lowercase u. All right, so I'm really, really happy to go ahead and answer any other questions. Someone else asked, what is U2U? U2U is my group program. Someone just said, if we sign up for a discovery call and decide to sign, do we still get the bonus? You get some of the bonuses that I've offered, but you don't get the fast action bonus tonight. You have to sign up before the call is over to get the swipe file, the Facebook ad that's added over 7,500 to our list, and the checklist of things tonight. You'll get the other bonuses, but you won't get the swipe file if you don't sign up before the course is over. So thank you for that question. Someone says, what is U2U? U2U is the 6-month group coaching program, Under Earner to Unforgettable. So thank you for those questions, Kate. That was fantastic to hear from you as well. You know, one of the things that I think Lisa is saying right now is, I really feel like I need accountability. I'm worried that I get gung-ho about something and then I peter out. How much support do we get from you in the group program? That's a really, really great question. So one of the reasons so many of my women have really loved U2U is because they feel like, even though it's a group coaching program, that I have my hands on their business. Every single week, they have 2 hours with me on the phone. It is me. I answer all the questions. We have yet to have a question go unanswered on our Q&A calls. But in addition to that, it's not my team going into the private Facebook group and answering questions. It's me. I'm in the Facebook group 5 days a week. I never miss a question. I answer everything. So you have an opportunity to bring your Facebook posts, your messaging into the group as you wish. Every single day you could come in and say, here's a post. It got crickets. What am I doing wrong? And I can look at it. We have 12 hours of extra Q&A that you can bring your messaging onto and ask me questions or anything else going on in your business. So there's no reason for you to feel like you can't get every single question you'll have for the next 6 months answered by moi. I will be there for you. The other thing is, I'm not the kind of coach who is going to ask you, you know, how, to keep playing small. Like, I'm going to notice that. I think I even had one woman come in and just say, like, I'm invisible sometimes. So on the orientation call, I already knew who she was. And I said to her, I know that you're invisible, so get on the call right now. I actually really called her out. So we know who our people are. We're keeping track of you guys, and we can totally see when you're not being visible and when you are. We have tons of opportunities to really put yourself out there. And in fact, some of the women in the program, they get featured on these calls, so a lot of other people hear about them. So that's a possibility for you too. a lot of women coming in, someone says, I have bright, shiny object syndrome. I buy a bunch of courses, want to make sure this is the right one. Totally get you. Here's the thing. Someone says, I love the way you teach. I don't have the money, but I'm signing up, breathing hard. It's okay, lady. You've totally got this. There's plenty of us who feel like we can't really make the investment. I made that last time. Really excited for you to sign up before the call's over. You're going to get the swipe file. Woo! Really excited. This is the thing I'll say about this. Even if you're someone who feels like you get distracted easily, this is the place to be. In Under Earner to Unforgettable, I focus on making sure that you are very streamlined in your process. We go through the 5 areas for you to focus on each day. And if your tasks don't fall into the 5 areas, then you damn well should not be doing it, is the thing. I make sure that you know exactly what tasks to do each day, and if you're confused about that, we go through that. So, you know, especially during the orientation period, this is a time to say, hey, let's get organized in your life. Let's clear out everything that's costing you time, and let's make sure that by the time the first training call begins, you're open to receive. We go through a rigorous process of you asking yourself, who do I need to be? What do I need to do to make a return on this investment? You know, all of those things are things that we are very real about in the course. I don't bullshit around. I tell it like it is. So if you want someone who's going to hold you accountable and refuse to let you play small and every single week inspire you and demand that you step up and be a different woman who can you know, perform at this level, then this is the program for you. If you're not up for being challenged, if you're not up for being pushed, if you're not up for playing your best game ever, don't join UDU, because the women in this program are doing crazy, amazing things. You heard from Angie and Alex tonight, and they are a fraction of the women who are making great money doing what they love now and never looking back. Cool. So those are a lot of those questions. Let me see if there's some other ones that are coming up at the moment. Hi, Melissa. Amazing information as always. I have a question about storytelling. It's something I find really hard. I'm a natural storyteller. My most natural way of communicating is rhetorical. Do I really need to tell stories? And if so, can I get better at it? Thank you, Elsa. Of course. Yes, you do need to tell stories, and yes, you'll get better at it. But here's what I'll say to you, Elsa. Don't worry about making the stories long and drawn out. Just think that anytime you're telling a story, I want it to be 3 minutes or less. And anytime you're writing a story, I want you to just start practicing putting short storylines in, like 2 sentences at a time, okay? So that's how I would answer this. And then there's a couple other questions coming in. Let me see this. Somebody said, I just began my business, want to make sure this course is right for me. Okay, cool. I get it. Guess what? I designed Under Earner to Unforgettable specifically for ladies who are just beginning their online business. They're just beginning. And I have plenty of seasoned coaches who come in who have been coaching for a while, but just aren't making the money they want to make. Both people benefit amazingly. I know this person's also saying they're not certified. Don't worry about it. I just recently got certified by accident. Is there a method for making a business plan to get the capital so I can invest in your programs? Is there an method for making a business plan? In the course, there's definitely lots of action plans. So that's what I would say. Yeah, so lots of action plans for you to know like how you can make a return on your investment, absolutely. But for anybody who's not certified, we talk about how to do fantastic coaching in the course. You learn so much in the Q&A calls that I don't want you to worry about not being certified, being brand new to coaching. We have plenty of people in the program who are starting right from zero. And then we have some people in the program who have been coaching for a while and just don't know exactly, you know, how to sorry, I got a ring on my Skype call for a second. Don't know exactly how to, you know, start making that money in their business, and they just really need that support. Cool. Somebody asked, will the training calls be recorded? Yes, they are. If for any reason you can't make the training calls live, you can go ahead and, if you can't make the training calls live, you can go ahead and join. You can send your question into the Facebook group. You can send it to our team, and we'll still answer your call live on the call, so that you can listen to the replay and get all of your questions answered, and you can ask questions every single day in the Facebook group. So everything's recorded, everything's downloadable. You get access for life to it, plus all these fantastic bonuses. I want to let you know the call's going to be ending really soon because I don't see a lot more questions. So if you want to do that, it doesn't matter if you're, oh, somebody asked, they're not a coach per se, but she has an online business, but not a coach. Is it still for me? That's a fantastic question. Yes, you know, we have people who are doing service-based and product-based businesses in the course now, and a lot of it is marketing, right? So a lot of the time, if you are selling a product or a service, you're still going to need to get clear on who your messaging is, or your messaging, who your target market is, how to communicate with them effectively, and how to create free content to attract them and then automate that relationship, how to make sales, whether it's in an email or on the phone. So if you are an online entrepreneur, you will definitely benefit from Under Earner to Unforgettable. Absolutely no question. So again, it's going to start end of June and it goes through mid-December. So for the next 6 months, the rest of this year, you will have not only a team of amazing women, but you will have a bunch of, you know, we'll have me as your mentor answering personally all of your questions. So that's really huge. So if you're going to sign up, go ahead. It says, do you have your formula steps process teaching in there? Like all of my formulas and all of my steps are in UDU. I created like 6 months of modules that have all of my step-by-step in there. So if you ask anybody in UDU how they've learned so much of the hard stuff in an easier way, is that I break everything down one step at a time. So yeah, lots of step-by-step processes. Thank you for that great question. The call is about to end. So again, this fast action bonus that you are going to get is the swipe file that gives you the assessment copy that helped me book over 20 free sessions and convert them into paid clients. I had my first 20K month. You're going to get that exact copy. You're going to get the exact copy for my Facebook ad that added over 7,500 people to my list in the last few months. And you're going to get a killer copy checklist. And that is a checklist to make sure every time you write an online post, you get everything in there. So if you're going to sign up, now is the time. I'm going to end this call in about 30 seconds. So if you want the swipe file, definitely go ahead and do it now. Just going to check and see if we have any more questions here. I think we're good, but I'm so excited to be here with you. I'm so excited that you joined me tonight for part 2 of Content School. Gracias, see you in UDU, still breathing hard. Gotcha, you can totally do this. The call's ending, so figure it out, my girl, and I'll see you in there. Woohoo! We got some people signing up right now, so go ahead and join the club. And I am so excited to have you in the program. So melissafarr.com/unforgettable. If for any reason you want to chat with me, remember I have just a few spots open, melissafarr.com/discovery call, lowercase u, number 2, lowercase u, and you can chat with me. I'm sending you all love, and I can't wait to see you in UDU, and I can't wait to see you creating fantastic content. All right, goodbye for now.